What's going on, Jay here? Man, I just want to take this time and build off the last video. Um, in the last video, I was talking about things that we can do to save a nation. How do we save a nation? And I went back to the scenario of COVID, and I was talking about like during COVID, there was two kinds of people: people that just blindly followed whatever they said, the quote unquote experts said to do. They did. They didn't question anything. They looked at you like you were crazy for questioning anything, and really just common sense questions that people had. And then the other type of people were people that resisted, people that said, no, I'm going to do my own investigation, try to look at things and say, man, this doesn't add up. And those people, right, those are the type of people that we want more of. Those are the people that are going to, stand up for what is right. Those are the people that are not going to fold in the face of evil and in the face of danger, in the face of tyranny. These are going to be strong people, people that are not cowards. Um, and then we always talk about how people need to wake people up. Like, oh, people need to wake up. They need to stop following blindly and this and that. But the argument that I was making is there's a lot of people that they don't want to make up. They've already have the recipe for people that are going to stay sleep and they're going to stay stuck in the quote unquote matrix, right? And I looked at the recipe that made what makes a person resist, what makes a person self sufficient and independent and not easily controlled by tyrannical leaders. And I say leaders, and I put that in quotes because they're leaders in title only. And I looked at the two things, right? And there was two things, two factors. Number one, faith, right? People had a strong faith in God. That people had a strong faith in something outside of themselves. They understood that they operated on a level that was not physical, right? Spiritual. Um, and the second was people who took control of their bodies, right? We have to be mindful of how we control what we can control, right? There's certain things like worrying about things you have no control over is not going to cause anything to change, right? It's going to cause more stress. It's going to cause um, more debilitating type of mental illnesses because you're worrying about things you can't control. Driven people, people that are um, independent minded people, right? They control what they can control. And number one is what you can control is your body, right? You can control your body. So physically fit people, people that ate right, people that worked out, people that push themselves mentally, right, to build mental strength and mental discipline. Those people are not people that are easy to control, right? They're not controlled by their own vices and they're not controlled by people that have an interest in oppressing them. So if we're going to wake up, right, and we're going to get people to wake up, then we need to have one, faith, and two, we need people to stand up and be physically fit and take control of their minds and their bodies. So, with that being said, I want to talk about some things that I have going on, right? And most of you know that I do a program. I run a program of men that are in recovery, right? Uh, Again, recapping my story: 15 years incarcerated, uh, was in the streets, was in the crime and gangs and all that type of stuff, and drugs and addiction and all that type of stuff. And from the age of 20 to 35, I was incarcerated. I came home. I've been home for going on 6 years now. And during that time, for the last 2 years, I've been running a class every Saturday in South Central LA on 76 and Avalon at Peace Chapel of LA. It's a church right across the street from Fremont High School. And what we've done lately is we've started a new program, and this program is directed towards breaking generational curses, and hence the name. And it's the name of my company, which is called Curse Breakers Training. Those of you who also don't know, I'm a certified personal trainer. I train people. I get them back in physical health, but it's not. It's more than just physical, right? It's mental too. It takes mental discipline to get back in shape. It takes mental discipline to eat the right thing and not eat the wrong thing. It takes mental discipline. It takes spiritual fortitude, right? To stand up and do what you're supposed to do and create that discipline. See, we talk about people waking up and we talk about, oh, people need to, we talk about all that, right? But we fail to see that a lot of these people, they can't even make it to the first battle. Physically, they can't get there. They're overweight. They're suffering from many different health conditions, mental health conditions, all different types of conditions, all different types of ailments. And so we're expecting people to do things that is not within their realm of possibility at this moment. But we have to get them there, right? So this is why I train people. This is why I've started this program with these men in particular, because these are men that are coming out of very serious addictions, drug addictions. They've been in jail, they've been in prison, they've been um, in and out, institutionalized, all these different things. They've coming from a background of generational curses. And this is why I've named it Curse Breakers Training, right? Because that's exactly what we're becoming. We realize that we have or come from a generation that's experienced many different curses. Curses being addiction, alcoholism, crime, poverty, laziness, obesity, poor health, poor finances. All these different things are real ailments that are passed on from generation to generations in the form of generational curses. And the only way that we break that generational curse is you have to be the curse breaker. You have to be the link that decides that it's no longer going to stay connected to this chain. And that chain is what is keeping you back. So we're curse breakers. So what I've done is I've taken a group of 10 men and we're starting to work out. We're starting to eat better. We're starting to educate ourselves on nutrition and our physical health, right? We started to become mentally disciplined. We started to create camaraderie and brotherhood amongst around this concept. We are going out into the world. We're getting out of the hood and the ghetto of South Central LA. We went to Manhattan Beach this past week. I'm going to play a video for you so you can see exactly what it is that we have going on. I'm going to pin this video in my Instagram. You're going to see it on my YouTube. You're going to see it everywhere. But I'm going to play that video right now so you can see exactly what we was doing and how we was out there really getting money. We was out there really working in the beach right there by the ocean and just with sandbags, pushing ourselves to exhaustion. Some men who ain't worked out in a long time. Some men who need a lot of help. You're going to see it. It's all going to be in this video. But these are men that are committed towards making themselves better, to overcoming their problems and overcoming mental health issues, addiction, crime, all the generational curses that are holding them back. I'm going to play that video real quick, then I'm going to get right back with you.
Perfect.
So as you can see, there's no quitting, there's no stopping. We're pushing, right? So I'm getting these men, and this is how we're going out there, and this is going to start a movement because, for one thing, bro, I really want to change how we do recovery. One of the problems that we facing in this nation, especially right here in the city of LA, is we have a homeless problem. But the homelessness problem isn't just people who can't afford to live somewhere. It stems from a drug addiction problem. Now, there's a lot of different things that go into that, but we need to break that. And a lot of these recovery programs, they're just they're a racket. It's a grift. It's a bunch of people that are making money, politicians that are making money, nonprofit organizations that are making money. It's all becoming a hustle where people are just forming nonprofit organizations, putting all their friends on a board of directors where they're making $100,000 a year. And they're lobbying to get their favorite politician who has been friends for a long time in the office, and then they write them federal money or tax. They write them taxpayer funded grants of millions and millions of dollars that go towards supposedly getting rid of drug addiction, getting rid of homelessness, and it's not doing anything. Los Angeles is a tent city. It is filled with homelessness. The homelessness is skyrocketing. It is ridiculous out here. I'm being dead honest. Like there's no there. What you see going on is a travesty if you believe in American ideals and American exceptionalism, right? If you believe in American exceptionalism and you come down to Skid Row in downtown LA, all that gets thrown out the window. It's bad, and the root cause is all drug addiction. Don't let them get you twisted in these liberal lies of saying that it's because people can't afford to feed it. You don't see families down there. There's no father, mother, kid. Nah, it's drug addicts. So in order we can change this, bro, is we really have to change how we do recovery. I really believe that the recovery model in this nation right now is really directed towards feeding the nonprofit industry. It's really feeding the homeless industrial complex, the drug addiction industrial complex, the recovery and rehabilitation industrial complex. And I call them that because that's exactly what they are. I know this because I've been through it. I've been in prison. I've been in recovery programs. I've been through all those type of different things. And I understand that a lot of times these people don't really have an interest in letting you get out there and becoming free and becoming citizens. Why? When their salaries, their six-figure salaries, depend on you continuously being addicted and filling these beds. That's the God honest truth. So what we're trying to do now is even break that curse right there. Because that's a curse. That's a curse that's really on the city right now. That's a curse that's really on this nation right now. Drug addiction is a curse. Homelessness is a curse. Poverty is a curse. And being used and neglected and abused by officials who are supposed to have your best interest at heart, that's a curse in and of itself. But we're going to break all that. That's why these men are taking control of their lives. That's why these men are really standing on business, to say the popular term today, and they're really saying that they're going to be dedicated and they're going to be disciplined and they're going to make the effort to get their body right, and in turn their mind will become right, and in turn their spirit will become right, and in turn that they will become the leaders that society needs. We need men who are going to be leaders, and that's what this group has started, and that's what we started putting out there, and that's what we're going to continue to put out there. I'm going to put as much footage out there as possible documenting this and showing you real men who are going to tell their stories and then show you how it is how they can turn their life around. One of the things I don't want you to know, and I'll say this, and this comes, and this ain't a knock so much on the 12 steps and the NA and the AA and all that. I've been through all that too, so I know how it is, right? Listen, these men are not addicts. They had an addiction at one point, right? But they've overcome that. And I know it goes against the whole psychiatry and the big pharmaceutical industry, another big industry that has their hands in all this, because all they want to do is pump these dudes full of pharmaceuticals instead of understanding that if you just change your diet and change your habits, you can become free of all that. You don't need any of that, right? But they don't make money off of that. That's the key right there. They don't make money off of that, right? So one thing that they want you to do is say that once an addict, always an addict. That's who you are. You was born that way. I reject all of that. Because the God that I serve didn't make us addicts. The God that I served didn't make us criminals, right? Our God made us ambassadors here. He breathed into us a breath of life. He gave us his ruh so that we can be the ambassadors here on earth. And the kingdom of God lives within each one of us. So all that I'm an addict, all that I'm depressed, all that I have this, and claiming and proclaiming and making binding curses upon yourself, we reject all of that. We're curse breakers. We bring in blessings upon us. So I just wanted to share what we have and what we have going on with these men. These men is really making efforts. I'm training them like I'm training a paid client, right? Like I'm training a paid client, I'm training them. And we're gonna get them right. We're gonna show you. I'm gonna show you that that there's a new model, and it's gonna change the way we do recovery if you really want recovery. And what it's also gonna do is expose the people that don't want recovery, right? Because they benefit so much from your ailments. And this goes across this. Even if you're not a drug addict, listen. Even if you're not a drug addict, they benefit from your laziness. Even if you're not a drug addict, they benefit from your credit card debt. Even if you're not a drug addict, they benefit from your poverty. They benefit from your diabetes. They benefit from your health problems. They benefit from these things. The only way we break free is we have to break these curses. Man, look, anybody that wants to help, anybody that looks at what I'm doing, and you're gonna see it. I'm gonna show you more than I can tell you, right? Anybody that wants to donate, I'm gonna put a link in the description. If you're on Instagram or any of these social media platforms, they're gonna be linked in the bio, whatever it is, so you can donate. One of the things we want to start doing is we want to get people involved in like donating a post workout meal, right? So it's gonna be roughly like $100 to feed all 10 of us, and just for after the workout is over, we can get a good nutritious meal, right? Last week, I donated it. My wife cooked it. She made some really good sandwiches for the men afterwards. We had apples, we had almonds, we had oranges, we had we had water, we had different things that all nutritious value. None of this processed stuff, none of this nonsense that is constantly just causing us to be more sickly in a world where we need to be strong and stand and physically strong, right? So if you're interested in donating, if you're interested in contributing in any way, DM me. Um, Go to the link. There's going to be a place for you can donate. I set up, I believe it's a GoFundMe that you can donate money to. There's also a Cash App there you can donate money to. We need anybody that wants to assist. If you want to come along, if you got workout equipment, if you got anything that you think that can help this cause, man, it'd be very much appreciated. We're going to put it to good use, and these men are going to be really, really pushing hard. And that's what we're doing every single day, changing the whole attitude and establishing ourselves as the elite of the elite. But until then, my name is Che. I appreciate you guys for stopping in, and I appreciate all the contribution. And keep posted. I'm going to stay watching because you're going to see some real miracles take place. Peace.